you may have the magnetic field either in this direction or in this direction. Okay, so that's the idea. So what I'm telling, what is a coil? Coil is not something new. It consists of many rings which are many rings which are placed very close to each other, that's coil. Okay, so once if you have a structure like this, if the current flows inside the coil, then what is the magnetic field nature? Okay, so the magnetic field will be around the conductor. Sorry, the magnetic field will be something like this. Okay, this is the nature of the magnetic field. Okay, the magnetic field would be like this. Okay, once if you have the coil, if the current flows through the coil, then there will be the magnetic field in this way. So here the pi, okay, pi means flux produced by singleton. Say if at all I'm having, instead of n turns, if I am having the singleton, okay, if I am having singleton, as the current flows through the singleton, okay, as the current I flows, definitely it will produce some flux. Okay, that is pi. Pi means what? Flux produced by singleton. Pi means flux produced by singleton. Okay, flux produced by singleton. Then what is n pi? If there are n turns here, what is the total flux produced by n turns? That is total flux. Okay, n pi means total flux. That is flux produced by n turns. Okay, flux produced by n turn. So something is very clear here. Okay, even if the current is not changing, as n changes, the number of flux, the amount of flux increases. You have to note down that. Okay, even if the current is constant, because current is giving you the flux. Okay, as the current flows through the conductor, it gives the flux. But if the current is constant, if I want to increase the flux, the way is you have to increase the number of turns. The only way is you can increase the number of turns. So what is the idea? When current is constant, to increase the flux, if you want to increase the flux, what you have to do? You have to increase the number of turn. If you want to increase the flux, you have to simply increase the number of turns. So for a constant current, if you want to have a more and more flux, then you want to increase your number of turns. That's the idea. So, and again, if in some cases, say for example, if n is constant, and okay, if n is constant, then then how can I increase the flux? If I want to increase the flux, I can increase it by increasing I, because if I give you more current, then it will give you the more flux, because the current is a source. Okay, that flux is the cause. Okay, producing the flux. Okay, flux is the cause, the current is the source. If I increase the source, my cause will be I. So once if I increase my current, then definitely my flux will be I. So flux and currents are directly proportional to each other. Okay, so this is okay. So now what is inductance? Okay, what is we are mentioning as self inductance? Then what is the meaning of that self inductance? Okay, um, so the meaning of the self inductance is see the ratio of what is your source. Okay, what is your source? It's like what is your input? Okay, what is your input? Your input is your current. Then what is the output? What is the output here? The output is total flux. Okay, what is the output? The output is total flux. It is something like, please remember, this is something like output divided by input. Just for your understanding, I am putting like this. Input is your current. What is the output of the circuit? That is flux. But one thing is very clear here. Suppose if I am not increasing n, okay, if I am not increasing the n, suppose without increasing n, if I increase my I, definitely my flux will increase. Okay, see for example, n I am keeping it as a constant. Once if I increase I, then my flux will increase. Then definitely your L will not change. There is no change in L. See, once n is constant, even if you increase the current, there will not be any change in the flux. Okay, so your L remains constant. Okay, remains constant. Okay, your L remains constant. So that means what? The L actually depends on something else. Okay, in this equation it may look like L depends on your pi and I, but actually as I increases, pi increases. If I decreases, pi decreases. That's why your L remains constant. So what is the main idea from this? Your L is independent of the source and cause. It is depending on something else. Okay, it is depending on something else. So from this it's very clear, from this way, from this L is independent of L is independent of L is independent of I comma pi. Okay, it is depending on something else. So it clearly depends on n. Okay, it depends on what, sir? It depends on n. Okay, so it's okay because it depends on n because depends on n. N means what? The dimensional properties of the number of turns. Okay, it is some kind of physical properties of the inductor. Okay, as the number of turns is high, definitely your inductance will be high. So L is independent of I and pi, but finally L depends on what, sir? N. L depends on n. So what is the inductor? The ability of the flux that the inductor can produce to the amount of current that is given to the inductor. Okay, the total flux linkage to the current producing that. So what is inductance definition? The definition of the inductance is the total flux produced, the total flux produced to the current producing, the total flux produced to the current producing that, current producing that. Okay, how much current is in your hand, how much flux you are able to produce. That is the um, self inductance. Very clearly, if there is more current, more flux will come, but that is not the idea. But if you want to increase the inductance value, the main idea is with less current, you should produce the more flux. The only way to produce more flux with less current is, say, for example, L is equal to N phi divided by I. Okay, with the less current, I can produce more flux by increasing N. So that is the main idea. In this way, you can increase the inductance value. So what is the inductance? If you want to increase the inductance with less current, you should be able to produce more flux. Okay, that means your gain of the circuit, your inductance value is very, very high. So the main idea is with the less current, you should be able to produce more flux. So with the less current, you should produce more flux. You should produce more flux. The only way to do that is, if you want to do this, then you have to increase n. The only way is to increase n. Okay, so very clear. The finally L depends on what? Number of turns. L depends on number of turns. Okay, so once if a number of turn is high, with less current, you can produce more flux. You can produce more flux. Okay, now what is the inductance? What is the inductance of this inductance value? Okay, inductance of the solenoid. Okay, so um, see, the inductance of solenoid is the inductance of solenoid L. The inductance of solenoidal inductance is mu n square A divided by L. Okay, inductance of the solenoidal is mu n square A divided by L. So I'll write it in the next slide. Suppose if I am having the solenoid like this, if my okay is going like this, okay, so current is going like this. Okay, L means what, sir? Length of the coil. L means what? Length of the coil. Okay, N means number of turns. So L is length of the coil in terms of meter. Okay, N means number of turn. N means number of turn. A means cross sectional area. Cross sectional area. Which one is cross section area? Here you will get some area. No, that area is called cross sectional area. Okay, now what is the inductance value? Okay, what is again? What is mu? Mu means permittivity of the medium. Okay, inside this material you will have permittivity. That mu is called permittivity of the medium. Ability to allow the magnetic field, that is called permittivity. Permittivity of medium, permeability of the medium. Okay. Now finally, what is the inductance value? The inductance value depends on mu n square a divided by L, mu n square a divided by L. Okay, so this is something you should remember always. Okay, this is something you should remember. Mu is equal to n square a divided by L. It is very clear. It depends on n, because as n increases, definitely L will increase. Again, if the cross-sectional area is high, L will be high. If the length is low, again L will be high. So from this, again you look for the unit relationship. You know the unit of individual parameters, and then finally you look for the final unit relationship. Okay. Now in the exam, mostly they will ask this one: the inductance value is directly proportional to n square. Okay, if n is doubled, okay, then L increase by 4 times. If n doubles, suppose if n doubles, then L becomes 4 times. L increases 4 times. Okay, it becomes 4 times. Mostly they are asking this question, because as L is directly proportional to n square. Okay, what happens when I double the number of turns? What happens to the inductance of the coil? Inductance of the coil. That is the main idea. Then and one more thing here is, once if I decrease the length, okay, without changing anything else, I'm not touching the numerator. And please note down one thing here: everything is the parameter, physical parameter of the inductor. Okay, A means what? Area. L means what? Length. M means medium properties. N means number of turns. Here there is no current, there is no flux. That only I have told just now, just few minutes before. I have told you the inductance value is independent of current or flux, but it is depending on physical dimensions. Okay, physical dimensions. Okay, so without changing the numerator, if I decrease the length, what happens? Okay, number of turn is same, but I am decreasing L. Okay, what happens? Okay, once say for example, if I am having 5 turns here, okay, 6 turns. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm decreasing the length, but everything else is remaining same. Okay, only I'm decreasing the length. Okay, once if I decrease the length, if I keep remaining things constant, okay, so I'm just reduce the length, but everything else is same. Number of turns, everything else is same. So what will happen? More number of, again, same 6 turns I'm putting here. Now what will happen? The turns are very close to each other. Okay, when I decrease L, okay, this is my L1, this is my L2. When I decrease L, okay, the turns are very close to each other, so that it can produce more flux. Okay, so the as turns are more close to each other, as turns are more close to each other, it produces more field, more magnetic field. Each other, it produce more magnetic field. Okay, that is the idea of the coil. What is coil, sir? Coil means what? We are wounding the wires one above the another. We are wounding the wires one above the another. As the turns are more close to each other, okay, what happens when I am not changing number of turns and all? Only I am decreasing the length. If I decrease the length, if the number of turns remain same, then it comes very close to each other. So it produces the more magnetic field. As it produces a more magnetic field, definitely is inductance. It can store more magnetic field. Definitely the inductance value increases. So what happens? So once if I decrease the length, definitely as I decrease the length, definitely the inductance value will increase. As I decrease the length, definitely the inductance value will increase. That's why L is equal to mu n square a divided by L, mu n square a divided by L. So now my next question is, okay, now my next question is, I am keeping these things constant, mu n square divided by L. I am changing a. I am changing a. If I increase a or if I decrease a, what happens? Very clearly from this equation, if I increase a, the inductance will increase. If I decrease A, the inductance will decrease. Okay, you just find out why is it so. Okay, why is it so? Next, and again you look for the unit relationship here also. For this also you know the units of individuals parameters. Finally, what is the unit? Okay, next, inductance of the toroid. Okay, toroid ring. Okay, so within 5 minutes I will complete. Okay, it's a final thing. Inductance of toroid. TOROID, inductance of the toroid. What is toroid? You have a circular ring. Okay, you have a circular ring. On that circular ring, you have the coil. You are having the coil. Okay, on that circular ring, you are having the coil. Okay, so this is toroid. Now current is flowing in this way. Definitely, it will live in this way. Again, it all depends on in which direction you have wounded the coil. Okay, you can wound the coil in two ways, either in a clockwise or in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, so finally, what is the inductance of the toroid? Okay, so again, it will have number of turns n. Okay, n, it will have number of turns n. Again, for this round shape, you will have a area. Okay, area of the toroid. Okay, area. Okay, then you will have radius. You will have a radius. So once if you have everything, then what is the inductance value? L is equal to mu n square a, mu n square a divided by n square a divided by 2 pi r, n square a divided by 2 pi r. Okay, so now the area is, what is this area? Whether the area is of this round shape or the cross sectional area. Please clarify this one. Whether it is a cross sectional R or area of full ring, because already R is there. So definitely it should have been the area of the cross sectional of the toroid ring. Okay, area of the cross sectional. That's okay. Okay. So now you are having mu n square a divided by 2 pi r. This is something similar to what you have already studied. Just now you have studied. I write it separately. Just now you have studied mu square. Sorry, not mu square. Mu n square a divided by L, n square a divided by L. So instead of L, you are putting 2 pi r. Instead of L, you are putting 2 pi r. Why? Suppose if you are having the toroidal ring, you are cutting the toroidal ring. Once if you cut the ring, it will come like this. Once if you cut the link, it will come like this. Now the circumference, what is 2 pi r? 2 pi r is the circumference of this circle, 2 pi r. Once if you cut, that will become as a length L. That is 2 pi r only. Okay, 2 pi r. So instead of 2 pi r, you will put L. That's it. Okay, so remaining everything is same. So once if you have a coil in a flat manner, that also giving you some inductance. Even if you put it as a circular manner, it is giving you the same inductance. So that is the idea here. So this is the way you can remember these formulas. Okay, so you have to remember these formulas always. Mu square n square divided by L. That is the inductance of the coil. Once if you put it in a rotation manner, instead of L, you'll put the circumference of the circle that you have formed, toroidal ring that you have formed. That is the idea. Okay, so with this I will stop. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask now regarding today's class. And today I will share you all these PDFs. Okay, yesterday PDFs and today's PDFs.